Say goodbye to wireless dead zones, intermittent connection problems, and buffering issues. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 different ways you can have the best Wi-Fi in your house that's so good, even Elon Musk is going to be jealous. Number 5, one of the easiest things you can do is to simply upgrade your wireless router. Now, this is a router that you can pick up at any big box store like Walmart or Best Buy, or you can even pick these up online at like Amazon.com. Basically, these are the things that give the wireless signal to your home, and a lot of times the ones that come with your internet service provider are severely underpowered, and even like older models, if you have one that you've purchased on your own, there's newer technology that's going to be able to increase the signal and the area that these cover. So by simply upgrading one of these, this can possibly eliminate the problem, especially if you have dead zones in your house that are located like on the far ends of your home. Upgrading to a newer one of these might be the easiest way to go for you to get the coverage that you're looking for. Now, if you're using wireless that came from your internet service provider, installing one of these is going to be a little bit trickier, but it's not impossible. So there are a lot of different tutorials that are available online that'll walk you through the process of adding your own wireless router to your network at home. And once you make the switch, no matter what new technology comes out, you can always just swap out your existing router for a new one, and then you'll have upgraded coverage and upgraded performance. Now, let's say you're trying to get wireless coverage to another part of your house that's really far away from where your router is located. The other option you have is to purchase something called a wireless mesh network. So this is going to be the same principle as what it would be to purchase and replace your router with a new one, but this is going to have additional bases that will be installed that you can install in separate rooms in your house, and that's going to extend the wireless signal throughout your entire home. Now, the same disadvantage applies if you're depending on your internet service provider's wireless coverage, but at the same time, once you swap this over to a wireless mesh network, then you'll be able to install those additional modules in different portions of your house and extend coverage either like to upstairs or downstairs in a basement or even a garage, for example. The other disadvantage to wireless mesh modules is you have to have a wall outlet that's located in between the router and the area that you're trying to cover. And that's because these extenders have to be able to communicate back to the main base in order to be able to extend the signal into these other areas that it's covering. Another option you have is to install range extenders. Now, these work similarly to a full mesh network, but the advantage with these is you don't have to replace your main router in order to extend the signal. So if you are using the wireless option from your internet service provider, these extenders can make it a whole lot easier to boost the signal and extend that range in your house without having to go through the trouble of changing the router out on your own. Now, the downside to these, and you have to be careful, is that sometimes they require you to name the network differently than what your main network is. And so that means if you go into an area of your house where you have a weak signal from your main router and you want to be able to use this extender, you might have to connect to a different network. The same thing that you would have to do if you went to like a local restaurant or a coffee shop to connect to your internet service. You would have to change that in your home when you're in that portion of your house. Not all of them work that way, but it is good to understand that might be the case if you're looking at this option for your house. Now, sometimes better wireless coverage isn't really your biggest concern, but you simply want to have the best connection possible to a certain device like a smart TV or a gaming console. If that's the case, then you should look into Powerline extenders. So the way Powerline extenders work is they take the signal that's from your router and they send it over the power lines in your house to another box that's a receiver, and then you can plug in a network device to that box itself. Now, these used to not work very well. They used to be really, really slow and not very reliable. But as with all technology, these things have been enhanced, and you can now have up to gigabit speeds over the home electrical wiring in your house, which is pretty cool. Now, while Powerline extenders are designed to give high-speed network access to 1 or 2 devices, there are some models that actually provide Wi-Fi service as well. So if you're looking to have that high-speed internet access for a couple devices and you want to boost your signal, these are a really good choice. If you're interested in learning any more about the solutions I mentioned in this video, I have links in the description below to products that I recommend and have used personally that you can learn more about and find the best price on. Now, if you want the ultimate wireless experience in your house, nothing beats dedicated access points, the same kind that you would see in commercial buildings. So with access points, you can install these wherever you have a network jack available in your house. And the really cool thing about access points is that you can even install ones that are rated for outdoor use. So if you're trying to get your wireless signal to areas that are outside, like if you have a pool area or a big deck, maybe a gazebo out in the middle of the yard, or even if you're trying to extend the access to the front of your house for some smart devices like security cameras or things like that, you can install a wireless access point either outside or up in your attic to get that signal boosted and cover your entire property. Now, if you don't have network jacks in your house, you may be able to repurpose the phone wiring that's in your home if your house was built in the last 10 to 20 years. So a lot of homes nowadays are wired with what's called Cat 5 or Cat 6 wiring, and that can be used for phone as well as network traffic. Now, the difference is going to be how it's connected into the wall and how it's connected into your control panel. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to look for a control panel in your home to see where all the phone connections are coming in. If you have one of these, look at the cabling and see if it says Cat 5 or Cat 6. If it does, then you might simply have to change out the jacks that are in the wall from a phone jack to a network port, and you're good to go. Now, there are a few other caveats you have to be aware of if you want to go that route, even if you have the cabling in place. But if you want to take a little bit more time and spend a little bit more money to making sure this is set up right, you're going to thank yourself down the road. If you found this video valuable, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help me out. All right, thanks for watching this video, and if you liked it, there's going to be another video that pops up here that I'm sure you're going to enjoy as well, so be sure to check that out. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.